Assalamualaikum and good morning to Madam Faiza and my fellow classmates. So today our group will be presenting about postmodernism. So this is the content of our presentation for today. So I will start off with the background or origin of postmodernism. So basically, postmodernism emerged in the mid to late 20th century, which is after World War II, peaking in the 1960s to 1980s. So basically, this postmodernism is an intellectual movement, and it is a reaction against the principles of modernism, and it challenges traditional ideas of truth, meaning, and also reality. And postmodernism is most prominent in literature, art, architecture, philosophy, and also cultural criticism. So the reaction to modernism. So modernism focus on order, logic, and grand narrative, which is big universal truth explaining the world. So it create structured and objective explanations of the world through science, technology, and also reason. Postmodernism rejects grand narratives, arguing that truth is subjective and constructed rather than absolute. So basically, postmodernist argues that there is no single or absolute truth that explains everything. Instead, truth is seen as subjective, which shaped by different perspective and also different experiences by people. Yeah. Instead of fixed meanings, postmodernists believe that meaning is fluid, shaped by individual experiences and also cultural context, as I mentioned before. And this postmodernists, unlike modernism, which seeks fixed meaning and also interpretation, postmodernism believes that meaning is constantly changing. It is not something that is fixed. So it shaped by what I mentioned before, individual experiences, cultural backgrounds, and also historical context. So now I will be presenting about the prominent postmodernists and writers. So there are actually four prominent postmodernists, but I'll be explaining and focusing on the two famous one, which is the first one is Jean Baudrillard, 1929 to 2007. He was a French philosopher and cultural theorist. So basically, Jean Baudrillard was a French philosopher and cultural theorist known for his ideas on media, reality, and simulations. And he argued that in the modern world, media and images do not just reflect reality, instead they replace it, which create a world where people experience reality through representations rather than direct interactions. So he also mentioned about hyperreality. So hyperreality introduced by the idea was introduced by Baudrillard itself, where he believed that the idea of hyperreality is where the distinction between reality and representations, such as TV, advertisements, and social media, becomes blurred, where people will engage more with media representations than with actual events, which makes it hard to tell what is real. So his main works, the first one is Simulacra and Simulations, 1981. So basically in this book, he explores how modern media and symbol construct a reality that is disconnected from the real world. So he argues that society now lives in a system of simulacra, which is a copies without an original. So the image and signs create meaning rather than the reality itself. So the second work from him was The Gulf War Did Not Take Place 1991. So basically he controversially claimed that the Gulf War was more of a media event than an actual war. He argued that TV coverage presented a sanitized and also a controlled version of events, which turned war into a spectacle rather than a real human tragedy. So that was what he believes on. So basically, Baudrillard's work, he critiques the power of media in shaping perceptions of reality. Okay, so the second prominent of postmodernism is Michael Michel Foucault, 1926 to 1984. He was a French philosopher and also historian, which known for analyzing how power operates in society, which particularly through institutions and also knowledge system. So he argued that power is not just enforced through laws but also through norms, discourse, and also social expectations. So so basically he believed that knowledge is deeply connected to power. So uh, those power is in control and considered the truth and use institutions such as school, prisons, and also hospital to enforce norms and also maintain social order. And he also critique this institution like prison, schools, and hospital for enforcing social norms, where he examined how this institution shape human behavior by imposing discipline and also control. For example, uh, in prisons, they do not just punish the criminals, but they also create system of surveillance and also behavior regulations where the criminals need to follow, to the extent that they need to do that into their everyday life. So that's how he examined how institutions shape human behavior. So his main works, the first one is Discipline and Punish, 1975, where this book explores how punishment evolved from physical torture to modern surveillance based control, which is, for example, regulate their own behavior when they believe they are constantly being watched. So the second one is The History of Sexuality, 1976. So Foucault argues that sexuality is not just a natural human trait, but it is shaped by power and also social discourse. So he examines how the societies regulate and define sexuality through laws, medical knowledge, and also culture norms. So basically, this work highlights how power uh, is being used in is being used or maybe embedded in everyday life, which influence how people think, people behave, and also how people understand themselves. So okay, this is another prominent postmodernist and also writers, which is Margaret Atwood. Okay, and she is a Canadian writer which focuses on dystopian feminism and postmodern storytelling. And this is the Salman Rushdie, 1947 to present, and he is a British Indian writer. So I think that is all for my part. Thank you.